My child, pause and listen to me. I am cutting through all the noise surrounding you, through the endless thoughts swirling in your mind, through every distraction that has been pulling you away from this moment. Listen now with your whole heart. You are out of time. Heaven brought you here with intention. This is not a mistake, not an accident, not just another random moment in your day. This is a divine interruption, a sacred intervention, a turning point that was written into your story long before you were born. I am speaking to you now because something in your life is standing at the edge. If you walk past this moment, the blessing meant for you will begin to fade. My child, you felt something draw you here, a pull, a stirring, a quiet sense that you should not scroll away or dismiss this message. That was me. That was my spirit reaching through the noise of the world to touch your heart and stop your feet. You have been asking for signs, for answers, for direction. And now heaven has opened its voice to speak directly to you. You did not arrive here by chance. You were brought here because heaven has something urgent to place in your hands, and something dangerous is trying to steal it from you. The enemy feared you would hear this message. He feared your eyes would fall on these words. He feared your heart would awaken, that your spirit would open, that your destiny would begin to move. He has worked quietly, invisibly, to keep you distracted, tired, numb, confused, overwhelmed, anything to ensure you never reach this moment. But you are here, and because you are here, something in the spiritual realm is trembling. Angels are standing in formation around you, watching with intense focus. Heaven is leaning in closer than you can imagine, because this very moment is the doorway to the change your life has needed for so long. My beloved child, do not ignore this moment, or you will lose what heaven sent. I say this not to frighten you, but because I love you too deeply to watch you step away from the blessing that has been waiting. For too long you have carried weight on your shoulders that was never meant to be yours. For too long you have been fighting battles without the strength you needed, carrying burdens meant to be laid at my feet. You have cried alone, struggled alone, tried to make sense of pain that kept returning. Heaven witnessed it all. Heaven recorded every tear. Heaven answered long before today. But the blessing, the breakthrough, the release, everything heaven prepared, requires your attention right now. You have no time left to delay. No time left to keep ignoring what your spirit has been feeling. I have whispered to you in dreams. I have tugged at your heart in quiet moments. I have nudged you through small signs, gentle prompts, unexpected thoughts, sudden feelings of heaviness or longing. You felt them, but you set them aside, telling yourself you would think about it later, pray later, change later, surrender later. But later has run out. The moment you have been circling is now. The window is open, but it will not remain open in the same way again. I am not speaking from fear. I am speaking truth. When heaven opens a window, it is a sacred moment. When heaven draws near, it is a holy appointment. And you, my child, are standing in one right now. The atmosphere around you is shifting, trembling, even if your physical eyes cannot see it. Angels are holding their breath, waiting for your heart to respond. They know what is at stake. They know the blessing hovering just above you. They know how close you are to stepping into what has been delayed for years. You may feel a strange heaviness or a warm stirring in your chest right now. That is my presence. Your mind may be growing still while your emotions rise unexpectedly. That is my spirit touching places inside you that you have tried to keep hidden. Tears may be forming for no clear reason. That is your soul recognizing truth. You may feel a sudden urge to look away or move on. That is the enemy trying to pull you out of a moment he knows can shatter everything he built against you. My child, stay with me. This moment carries the weight of heaven. It is not like other moments. It will not return in the same way again. I have watched you fight battles you never spoke of to anyone. I have watched you wrestle with thoughts you could not explain. I have watched you hold yourself together while falling apart inside. You have prayed for relief, for direction, for clarity, for strength. And heaven has been answering. But the blessing meant for you requires your yes, your attention, your surrender right now. I am reaching for you, and I need you to reach back. There is something moving toward you that the enemy wants to block. A shift, a healing, a release, a breakthrough, a restoration that has already been sent. But if you ignore this moment, if you walk away as if it is ordinary, the blessing will begin to lift. Not because I do not love you, but because blessings are tied to obedience, and moments of divine timing must be honored. You have no time left for hesitation, no time left for confusion, no time left for doubt. You have wondered long enough. You have been attacked long enough. You have been waiting long enough. I am here to bring you into the place you were always meant to reach, and you cannot afford to walk away. Heaven pulled you here on purpose. The enemy feared this moment. Your destiny leans on your response. This is the turning point your soul has been crying for. This is the invitation your prayers have been reaching toward. This is the moment heaven steps into your story and says, "You cannot stay where you are." My child, this moment will not return the same way again. But if you listen, if you stay, if you open your heart and allow my words to reach you, what was meant for you will begin to unfold. The blessing will not lift. Protection will settle over you. The breakthrough will form. Healing will start. The chains will crack. Darkness will weaken. Do not walk away. Do not close your heart. Do not treat this as just another message. Treat it for what it truly is. My final call before the shift begins. Stay with me. Hear me. You have no time left. Heaven is here. My child, stop and hear me. I am speaking into your spirit right now with a voice that cuts through every distraction, every burden, every noise surrounding your mind. Listen carefully, for these words are not here by coincidence. Heaven pulled you here on purpose. You did not stumble into this moment. You did not arrive by accident. You were drawn here by a hand greater than your own, because you have no time left to keep wandering, no time left to keep brushing aside the warnings your heart has already sensed. The blessing meant for you is getting ready to lift, and I do not want you to miss what heaven has been preparing for you. My child, my voice enters your heart now like a sudden wind, stirring the places inside you that have grown numb, awakening the parts of you that fell asleep under pain, fear, and long delay. You feel this moment differently because it is different. Heaven has leaned close to you right now. The air around you feels heavier, quieter, more intense, because the atmosphere itself is trembling with divine urgency. Angels are standing nearby, waiting, watching, hoping you will not pass this moment by. They know what is attached to it. They know what you are about to step into, or what you may lose. My child, do not ignore this moment, or you will lose what heaven sent. I do not say this to frighten you, but because love warns when danger is near. Love speaks truth even when the truth is hard. Love reaches out even when you have turned away. And right now, I am reaching for you with a desperate tenderness, because the time for delay has passed. You have been circling the same
No way!
pain,
Did you see that
the same
shot?
confusion,
That was
the same
absolutely
emotional
insane.
prisons for
We just
far too
clutched
long.
that round, chat.
Your spirit has been crying for a turning point. This is that turning point. This is the moment everything begins to change, if you respond. The enemy feared you would hear this message. He feared your eyes would land on these words. He feared your heart would open even slightly, because he knows that once your heart opens, my power enters. He knows that once you hear me clearly, the chains around your mind begin to break. He has fought quietly, in ways you never saw, to keep you away from this moment. He tried to distract you, discourage you, drown you in fear and confusion. He tried to convince you that you were too tired to listen, too wounded to hope, too guilty to lift your eyes, too lost to be found. But you are here, in spite of everything hell sent to stop you. You are here. And because you are here, all of heaven is leaning in. My child, you feel something in your chest, a stirring, a soft ache, a sudden awareness that this is serious, that this is not like other messages. That is my spirit touching your spirit. That is my presence brushing against you, whispering, "Do not walk away. Stay with me. Hear me." For too long you have been walking through days that feel heavy, nights that feel endless, seasons that feel hollow. You have felt the pressure mounting. You have felt signs within your own soul, signs you have been pushing aside or trying to rationalize. But your heart knows something has been shifting, something has been stirring. Something in you recognizes that this moment carries weight. This moment is not entertainment. This moment is not coincidence. This moment is me. I have watched you carry burdens meant for my hands. I have watched you cry silently in the dark. I have watched you pretend you were fine while your spirit was breaking inside. I have watched you hope for change, but fear disappointment. I have watched you pray with a trembling voice, not knowing if I was still listening. I have watched you say, "Maybe tomorrow," every time I nudged your heart. But my child, your tomorrow has run out. The time to listen is now. Heaven pulled you here on purpose. You were not meant to miss this moment. I have opened a window over your life, a spiritual window carrying healing, clarity, protection, and blessing. But this window will not remain open forever. Spiritual windows are sacred. They appear at appointed times and close when the soul does not respond. That is why my voice carries urgency right now. That is why your heart is trembling. That is why your mind feels sharper, your emotions feel exposed, and your spirit feels newly awake. You are standing in one of the most important moments of your life. I say this with all the love I carry. This moment will not return in the same way again. I can come to you again. I can speak again. I can reach again. But this exact moment, with this weight, this open door, this level of blessing hovering, is unique. If you ignore it, the blessing will begin to lift. Not because I want it to leave, but because blessings cannot remain where the heart refuses to receive. My child, the enemy has been speaking lies to keep you blind to your own urgency. Lies that say you have more time. Lies that say you have already failed. Lies that say you are unworthy of blessing. Lies that say nothing will ever change. Lies that say I am distant, silent, disappointed. But my voice breaks into your spirit now to say, I am here. I am close. I am calling you with everything inside me. I am reaching through every barrier, every wound, every fear, every doubt to pull you back into the life you were meant to live. You may feel chills. You may feel a weight beginning to lift. You may feel tears forming for reasons you cannot explain. You may feel warmth surrounding you or a quiet pressure in your chest. This is not fear. This is not mere emotion. This is my presence drawing near, pulling you into alignment with the moment heaven prepared. My child, do not turn away. Not now. Not this time. You have ignored my whisper before, but this is no longer a whisper. This is a call, a warning, a rescue, a final reaching out before the blessing passes and the season turns. You cannot afford to lose what heaven has been holding for you. You cannot afford to keep delaying. Today, listen. Breathe deeply and let my words enter the places inside you that hurt the most. Let me speak to the wounds you have hidden, the fears you have buried, the questions you have been too tired to ask. Let me into the places where your heart whispers, "Help me," even when your mouth says nothing at all. This moment is holy. This moment is fragile. This moment is divine. And this moment is yours. Heaven pulled you here. Hell feared this moment. My love is calling you. And I say it once more, with all the urgency of eternity. My child, stop and hear me. You have no time left. This moment will not return in the same way again. My child, listen closely now, for I speak with a weight that heaven itself carries. This is not a gentle moment, not a soft whisper. This is a holy alarm sounding through the depths of your spirit. Heaven has been watching you walk closer and closer to a dangerous edge without fully seeing the danger beneath your feet. You have felt the heaviness, the confusion, the strange pressure in your heart, but you did not understand why. You thought it was simply life, simply stress, simply exhaustion. But it is deeper. It is spiritual. Heaven has sounded an alarm over your life because something sacred is at risk. Something precious is slipping through your hands, and you have grown too accustomed to surviving the storm instead of stepping into the blessing I prepared for you. My child, blessings, answers, and breakthroughs have been hovering over your life. They have been near you, closer than your breath, waiting for your heart to align with my call. There were moments when you almost reached them, moments when peace almost touched you, when doors almost opened, when change almost broke through. You felt almost, many times, but each time hesitation, distraction, or delay pulled you backward. You told yourself, I will try again later. I will pray later. I will surrender later. I will listen later. And each time you pushed my pull away, the blessing dimmed a little more. Not because I withdrew it from you, but because your hesitation weakened your grip on what heaven was trying to place in your hands. Child, hear me. Heaven has sounded this alarm because you are running out of later. There is a blessing that belongs to you, written for you, shaped for you, designed specifically for you. But it has begun to fade at the edges because you have not stepped into your yes. It is like a flame wanting to burn brightly but starving for your attention. You cannot see it with your eyes, but your spirit feels the hollow where fulfillment should have been. The tightness in your chest, the deep cry inside you saying, I need change. That is the signal that heaven's blessing is slipping because you have not firmly received it. And so I brought you here to stop the loss. I brought you to this moment so you would not walk past your own miracle. I brought you here to open your eyes to the cost of waiting too long. I brought you here to pull you away from the edge you did not even realize you were standing on. You see only the battles that have been draining you, but heaven sees the blessing trying to reach you, and the darkness trying to claim the space that was meant for light. My child, this is why you have felt such pressure in your spirit lately. This is why the world around you has felt heavier, why your heart has felt restless, why your mind has felt overwhelmed, why small things have felt so large. It is because your spirit has been sensing the tug of war happening in the unseen realm. Heaven is pulling you toward life, toward blessing, toward purpose, and the enemy is pulling you toward delay, distraction, and spiritual numbness. Listen to me with your whole heart. Hell has fought to keep you from hearing this because this message exposes its plan. The enemy knows that if you hear me clearly in this moment, everything he built against you will collapse. He knows that if you awaken now, the blessing he has been trying to block will finally reach you. He knows that if your eyes open, you will see through his lies, through his traps, through his attacks. He knows that if you respond to me, you will break free from patterns that have held you captive for years. And so he fought you even today to keep you from this moment. He tried to fill your mind with noise, your body with tiredness, your heart with heaviness, your emotions with confusion. He tried to make you numb. He tried to make you scroll past. He tried to make you believe that nothing would change, that these words are just words. But they are not just words. They are heaven's alarm sounding for your soul. This alarm is not to shame you. It is to wake you. It is to rescue you. It is to pull you back into alignment before the blessing drifts beyond reach. My child, the reason you feel the trembling in these words is because so much has been placed at your feet, and so much has been at risk of being lost. I am not here to punish you. I am here to pull you back, to restore what hesitation has taken, to recover what distraction has stolen, to defend what delay has damaged, to revive the blessing that is still yours, if you reach for it now. I have watched you come so close to the life I planned for you. I have watched opportunities hover around you like gifts waiting to be unwrapped. I have watched relationships, ideas, dreams, and doors begin to form, only to dissolve when you stepped back into fear. I have watched you grieve what you felt slipping away, not understanding that the window was waiting for your faith, your response, your surrender. That is why heaven is sounding this alarm, because the moment is now, and you cannot afford to walk past it again. My child, think about how many times you dismissed the inner tug asking you to draw closer to me. Think about how many times you ignored the quiet warning that something was off. Think about how many times you said, "I will change later," while the weight around your life only grew heavier. Think about how many blessings you felt approaching, then watched dissolve into silence. Heaven saw it all. I saw all of it, and I have come to stop the bleeding of loss. You have been walking on a thin edge, too tired to keep going, but too afraid to surrender. That edge is dangerous. It is the place where hearts grow numb, where faith grows dull, where blessings begin to drift, where destiny pauses. I could not stay silent. I could not watch you wander further into shadows you were never meant to enter. So heaven raised an alarm. Angels moved into position. My spirit reached through the veil between realms and spoke your name into this moment. I shook you awake because you have reached a line you were never meant to cross. Child, I need you to understand something vital. This alarm is not punishment. It is mercy. It is protection. It is intervention. It is me stepping between you and the enemy's plan. It is me standing before you saying, enough. Stop walking blind. Stop drifting. Stop delaying. I am here, and I am pulling you back. You are not reading these words alone. My presence surrounds you now. You may feel warmth on your skin, pressure in your chest, tears rising unexpectedly. That is not emotion. That is spiritual truth touching the deepest part of you. This is not just a message. This is rescue. Blessings that were fading can return. Doors that were closing can reopen. Strength that was leaving can rise again. But you must listen. You must respond. You must take this alarm seriously. I am not here to frighten you. I am here to save you from losing what heaven prepared for your future. I am here to stop the loss. I am here to reveal what darkness has been planning behind your back. I am here to expose what the enemy hoped would remain hidden. I am here to tell you that your destiny is still alive, still reachable, still waiting, but it is hanging by a thin thread of time. My child, heaven is speaking loudly because heaven loves you deeply. You are too valuable to lose. Your purpose is too great to waste. Your future is too bright to allow darkness to dim it. That is why this alarm is ringing in your spirit. That is why my voice carries urgency. That is why this moment feels unlike anything you have felt before. This is rescue. This is mercy. This is your turning point. Listen to me, my child. I brought you here to stop the loss. My child, open your heart as I speak. What I am about to reveal is something you have felt but never fully understood. You have wondered why the battle around your life has been so intense. You have questioned why your mind has been under attack, why your emotions shift without warning, why discouragement arrives suddenly, why heaviness appears for no clear reason, why peace feels fragile, why hope rises one moment and crumbles the next. You thought it was simply life, simply stress, simply weakness. But it is far more than that. The enemy has been watching your destiny with jealousy and fear. He has seen what you cannot yet see. He has seen the light I placed inside you the moment I formed you. He has seen the calling written over your life. He has seen the potential I planted in your spirit. He has seen the authority you would walk in if you ever fully awakened. And because he saw it, he targeted you, not because you are weak, but because he knows you are dangerous to his kingdom. He recognized something in you that you yourself overlooked: strength, purpose, spiritual weight, a future that threatens everything he has built. My child, hear me clearly. The enemy feared you would hear my voice today. He feared this moment would find you. He feared that clarity would break through your confusion. He feared that truth would expose his lies. He feared that love would undo the damage he tried to cause. He feared that you would finally wake up. Every attack you have faced was not random, it was strategy. You have lived under spiritual warfare far deeper than you realized. The confusion clouding your thoughts, the sudden exhaustion that hits even when you've done nothing, the strange waves of sadness, the unexpected anger, the temptation that appeared at your weakest moments, the discouragement that crushed your motivation, the heaviness that made simple things feel impossible. All of these were weapons formed in the spiritual realm. He fought not because you were failing, but because you were rising.